Hey there, this is the One Boom, and this video is not rage bait at all. This video is me explaining why I'm avoiding zombies, end campaign, and the endgame mode. This has nothing to do with the objective quality of those modes and everything to do with my subjective view on progression and how cross progression hurts the game. So pretty much every time I live stream, somebody asks if I've played zombies or the campaign, to which I answer no. I'm currently Prestige 8 level 43, only playing through multiplayer. Multiplayer is really all I cover on this channel. It's all I've ever really covered on this channel. Anytime I've tried to dabble in other things, I just feel like it's disingenuous because it's not really where my passion is. Not saying I'll never make a video on BO7's campaign, or endgame, or zombies. It definitely could happen later in the year, but in general, it's not my cup of tea. I like multiplayer. I like the competitive nature of multiplayer. I like loading into a map against 6 other people or in a free-for-all or whatever, domination, hardpoint, FFA, TDM, kill confirmed, overload, whatever it might be. I like to compete against people. I think the fun of Call of Duty for me is that social, casual, competitive aspect. Like the aiming and shooting and running around means a lot less if the thing on the other side of my gun isn't a real person with the ability to have decisions and tactics and their own motivations for playing, and you know, that's where the excitement of COD comes in for me. It's hard to be frame perfect at Call of Duty multiplayer because real people are an ever-present variable, so it actually engages me, and I kind of find that unless a video game is a very detailed, stat-driven RPG or a competitive shooter, I kind of lose interest in it rather quickly, which is maybe a character flaw to some of you, but who better than to run a Call of Duty multiplayer channel, right? So, you know, I have my niche. That's not really why I'm avoiding zombies in campaign. I'm actually interested in playing them. I just hate that they interfere with my progression. And I believe that progression is whatever you make it, right? It's kind of always been that way. Prestige is an optional thing. Call of Duty never made you reset everything to prestige in order to get content. Not really up until they started offering like create class slots, or they started offering classic weapons in Infinite Warfare. And now we have like in-game prestige rewards in like Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7, because Black Ops 6 brought back classic prestige, thank God. And Black Ops 7, you know, follows that pretty much exactly the same. Each prestige has a series of cosmetic rewards, as well as more challenges to complete to gain more XP, to gain more calling cards, to level up again and more and faster. But like, what's the point, right? A lot of people have said for years, my friends have said for years, my friends' friends have said for years, what's the point of prestiging after a certain point? Like, it doesn't matter, you're just resetting for an icon or a change in number or some random cosmetic in like BO7's case. What's the point? Well, I feel like a lot of people that play multiplayer and enjoy Call of Duty multiplayer want some icon or number to indicate their level of interest in the game, their level of dedication to the game, or something that just sort of chronicles their journey through the game. And prestiging in and of itself both chronicles the journey and creates a little bit more complication in the journey by resetting your unlocks and things of that sort. So what am I saying? I've been sort of rambling for 3 minutes, but let me explain this. I want my max prestige, my master prestige, to represent my grind against real people online. I want my XP, whether I'm getting double XP in Nuketown or just playing a random TDM, you know, late one night, just not even giving a shit about my KD, just listening to music and shooting people. Whatever it is, I want my max prestige to tell the story of all of those hours played. I think there's a lot of value in gaining score and XP against other real people that can combat you, that can have other motivations for playing. You might be going up against somebody sitting halfway across the room from a 75-inch TV with a broken controller and no headset. Their TV isn't in game mode, it has motion interpolation on, it's destroying their input lag, and they're cursing around about campers and broken weapons, but they don't know their ass from their elbow. Or on the other hand, you find somebody who is preparing for ranked to come out, and they're using meta weapons, and they're trying to perfect their movement and accuracy, because they're getting ready to compete in this game like it's a sport. Because for some people, this game is a sport. So the variance of bumping into, especially now with open matchmaking, bumping into Gomers that don't really know what they're doing, you know, your average battle dad types, and people that play this game like it's a sport, like it's an actual part of their validation as a human being. It's a level of like actual ego and pride to get better at and win matches and to climb the ranks of ranked player. Maybe they're just using you in pubs to warm up for like their 8s matches and stuff. You know, that's cool to me. I love that. That way all of my XP comes from battling real people. It comes from winning a gunfight against another real human being and not, you know, training zombies or finding some exploits in endgame or just, you know, playing through a campaign. I just don't think any of that should be tied to the same progression. Now, if they want to have their own progression systems, I think that'd be great. I would always love that. But I have to make the leveling what it is for me. I have to make progression mean something to myself. Otherwise, the progression is just a collection of numbers. And I feel like we've always had to do that with Prestige, because Prestige was an optional thing to show your dedication, to show that you're willing to lose it all and gain it all back, to show that you are somebody dedicated to the grind, dedicated to the MP grind. And I feel like that's something that's going to be different from person to person, right? Some people just like the completionist aspect. Some people want their story throughout the game chronicled. Sometimes it's like a mix of both. And maybe like to me, it's like a sort of small trophy. Like it's just sort of like, yeah, something you get handed at work that says, you know, world's best coworker, you know, like, or you go to school and you get like a gold star. It doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of the universe, but it does mean something in relation to the time you're spending and the way the game gives you accolades for it. And then there's that, yeah, that completionist side, the chronicling side, and then it's a little digital trophy that says, attaboy, you did it. And what are video games if not just things on a screen that says, you did it? So for me, that you did it means a lot less if I go farm zombies, if I go into endgame or use any exploits. It just doesn't have the same message to it. It doesn't have the same meaning behind it to me. So that's why I'm avoiding campaign and zombies and all of in between. But outside of my personal reasons, I also just think that the developers have a bigger responsibility than they're taking on when it comes to giving people something that makes it feel worth their time. I feel like the prestige rewards this year are really kind of lame. It's cool that we get operator skins that are based on mutated or zombie monster-fied versions of Black Ops 2 Milsim operators, but just getting the classic Black Ops 2 Milsim operators would be 1,000 times cooler. Getting actual weapon variants of like Black Ops 2 weapons that look like their Black Ops 2 counterparts, similar to how we had weapons that look like old Black Ops game counterparts in Black Ops 6's prestige rewards, that'd be better. But I feel like it's not that special when the rewards just sort of feel like they could have been a part of a 1500 COD point bundle, and not really something that I'm going to use to showcase my time played. While they do have little cosmetics here and there, titles, color changing for your level numbers and stuff like that, that's cool for that, and that's fun. Of course, there's a secret hidden operator that we unlock once we get to level 1000. I just feel like progression feels so relative and flimsy, or hell, even meaningless to some of the player base because of so many things throughout the franchise that trivialize it, like 24/7 shipment or Nuketown, making it too fast or being too slow, so it's either not impressive to get or not worth it to go for. And just not providing a reward that the player base can get excited about, it sort of leads the progression into being a little bit more about what it means to you, and a little bit less about what it actually is. Even in saying that, I don't fully agree with it because, again, everything you've ever earned in a video game is just something on a screen that says you did it 100%, or this number, or this icon, or this little symbol, or this secret ending. It's just something on a screen. So, you know, max prestige is no different. But where it becomes different is that if max prestige is just how much I've done anything in the game, then it is just counting my time played. Whereas if it's counting my MP time, it's counting my grind against real other human players, other people. The good games, the bad games, the matches I rage quit, the matches I don't want to rage quit, the matches that I have vendettas against people. I want it to represent that, because I feel like that's more interesting than just being a cumulative number. And while it is on the developers to make that number mean something, at the end of the day, you have to ask, what are they going to put behind prestiging to actually make it so much better, so much more worth it, right? Like more nostalgia bait stuff, more skins, more things. Like the game's gonna have a ton of skins, a ton of camos, the games are gonna have a ton of everything. And if we lock like unique weapons behind prestiges, then people will feel like they're being cheated out of content that they're not willing to go for. So I think it doesn't really matter how big and amazing all the rewards and presents are. I think what matters is what it means to you. And for me, shooting a zombie in Zombies, shooting 10,000 zombies in Zombies, getting to round 100 in Zombies doesn't mean as much as getting a nuke in multiplayer, or, you know, winning that hardpoint match by 1 point because you just slid in at the right second and the game chat goes crazy, or you win that free-for-all and somebody just starts calling you slurs. That is a unbeatable feeling, and I want my number to represent that feeling, because that's, for me personally, what's important. I don't know, back in the day when I used to watch a lot of COD YouTubers, they'd occasionally just make videos about their mentality on something, and not really to make a point or to have an exhaustive list of reasons you should give a shit, but just to say, hey, this is why I'm doing this, and this is what it means to me. Check everything else at the door. Anyway, thank you guys so much for sitting through this. If you sat through 11 minutes of me just talking about leveling and what it means to me and why I'm doing what I'm doing, thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe. I want to do some more like open, honest content with you guys where I just talk about my mentality with stuff in game, and not so much always doing the tips and tricks and opinionated rants. Like, I want to find some middle ground where I can talk to you guys as players, and I feel like stuff like this is a really good thing to just sort of, you know, pass the time. So let me know what you think down below. If you don't have any opinions, or you're busy, or just letting this play in the background while you like do something else, then I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.